What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Recess for the Soul. It's your cousin Marqe J, and this is episode 3. And we're going to title it Send It On, an ode to the one and only D'Angelo. You know, sometimes life gives us melodies we forget to finish, chords we started but never resolved, verses we wrote but never recorded. And for many of us, especially us millennials, we've been living in that space, that in between who we were supposed to be and who we're finally becoming. So if you're anything like me, I'm always finding a message in the music. D'Angelo once said, "When you're feeling down, send it on." Very simple words, but powerful when you sit with them. Because in a world that constantly tells us to hold it in, move on, and pretend we're fine, D'Angelo reminded us to send it out, to release it, to tell love and healing circulate again. Music has always been our medicine. From that first Aaliyah record we wore out, to that burnt CD we passed around senior year, to that playlist that saved us in our 20s when the bills hit harder than the bass. We don't just listen to songs, we live in them. They've held our heartbreaks, our rebirths, our faith, and our doubt. And somewhere between Brown Sugar and Untitled, D'Angelo gave us permission to feel deeply again. So I'm going to remind you here to pick up the pieces. We've all been through some kind of break. A breakup, a breakthrough, or a breakdown. And sometimes they all happen at once. But here's the thing about pieces. They don't always go back the way they were. And you know what? Maybe they're not supposed to. See, D'Angelo's music, and for that matter, the entire soul movement of the 90s, was about imperfection. It was raw, gritty, and honest. It wasn't about filters, followers, or finding validation in likes. It was about finding yourself in the moment, even the messy ones. That's what this episode is about giving yourself permission to start again, to pick up what's left and play something new with it. Because maybe, just maybe, that's how your soul sends its own message out to the world. So for us, the millennials, we came up on dial-up internet, but we're still trying to download peace. We were raised on go get it, but we're learning let it be. We're navigating adulthood and surround sound, trying to manage finances, some faith, and freedom, all while finding the right playlist for the drive home. And even when we get there, sometimes we just sit in the car, in the driveway, with the windows down and breathe. Find yourself doing that? Yeah, me too. We've seen the highs of the culture and the exhaustion that comes after. We've been strong for everyone, even when we were running on fumes. But here's the truth. Strength isn't silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is exhale. And that's what I want for you today. To pause, to breathe, to send it on. Whatever it is. Send on the pain. Send on the pressure. Send on the peace. Because everything you release makes room for something better. So here's a soul reminder for you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are a remix of every version of yourself that refused to quit. And always remember, you can return yourself with grace. The melody might change, but the soul remains. So, wherever you're listening from, maybe you're driving, maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're sitting in your office, maybe you're just sitting, still trying to figure out what's next. Remember that healing doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it sounds like a hum. Sometimes it's silence. Sometimes it's that one song that makes you remember you're still here. So take this moment right now to breathe. Let whatever you've been holding on to flow through your fingers and send it on. Because when we share our light, our lessons, our laughter, even our love, the world becomes a little softer. And you know what? You never know who needed that light today. So, cousins, until next time, I always tell you, I appreciate you for accepting your seat at the kitchen table. And as always, today and every day, this weekend and next week, no matter what you do, remember to take a recess for the soul because it's necessary.